now we are going to be in the game of putting on the rest of this stuff. Belongs in here. And of course, first and foremost on that part is the gear shifter. And when we put the gear shifter in, we will want to test out the gears. So, the gear shifter is the piece that goes right here. This, like that. Right. There you go. I almost feel like this show's irrelevant, but the oil inside there. Oops, not too much. Just dab it on there. This. So, now that you see me put this together, I take it back apart, which is going to suck, but I'll show you something here. There's a space on this side. It's about 3 to 4 millimeter. And the reason is, so this would not spin completely on that bearing. This is not the right connecting rod for it. This connecting rod, I should have checked it more carefully when I got it, but it's a, in 1983, the connecting rod is wider. This is a 1982 and below connecting rod for a 490 or 440. So, unfortunately, gotta go apart. However, I do have the correct rod over here, so this is the rod that should have been in there. You can see, I can't tell here, but it is a little bit wider. This is part number 149 of the same company. You see, this is 249 on this one. This is 149. So, as you can see, this part is a little bit wider. And that is a little bit longer, which, as you can see, would make up for the incorrect play. So I gotta take it apart and have it redone. Unfortunately, this is the one that came out of it. So, all right. Well, here we go, taking it apart. Yes, I put a lot of time into getting this thing together here. As you can see, some of the heat stuff comes off. That's what this stuff is. The dried on heat glue. There we go. That off. There. This comes off. Hopefully it's just pretty easy. There it goes. Yeah, it was pretty good together. There we go. Whew. Out. Okay. There we go. So that brings you to a lesson. So what would be the problem if I left it in there? Well, one thing, it depends on these roller bearings here. How much of them were actually on the surface of the inner. Since this was pulled out by 4mm, that means only 4mm less of this was on the bearing. And then that brings us to the question to, what does that translate into what was riding on this? Now, if it's riding on this unevenly and putting more load on this side, this bearing would fail quicker. The other thing is the scavenging that works in the two-stroke. Since the crank wasn't always compressed against there, I'm not sure if that would then cause a problem. For example, the older Maicos, the 250s and 490s shared the same engine cases, but they put spacers in here to fill up the crank volume, so it was less crank volume. So having this not to the side, I'm not sure what that would have done to the scavenging. Could have messed it up, could have not. I probably would have ran. And the piston pin has enough room that it probably would have fit. That's just the problem that well. Yeah, I mean, it's just basically a problem that, well, it's not correct. So you will still end up with possible failure. So that's why we had to take this off, and that's why we have to redo this. So I was very close to being done, but now it's going to be a little bit longer since I got to get that fixed. Luckily I already had the part, so I gotta wait for it. I already had the part, so that should be a problem. I have it fixed this week, and it's probably just another week or so to have this whole engine back together. It's not too bad.